little things, cause I got big deals and I got little things. Got everything I'm asking for, but you stop making a big deal out of the little.
Welcome back to my channel.
My name is Amity Diamond Vlog. If you're new to the channel, remember to give me a like, subscribe, follow. You know, this is your best favorite channel. Okay, so I am making a review about 10 biggest lies about the Philippines. Yes, so I want to know what are the lies about this country. So let's watch. Okay.
The Philippines is a country that we love to talk about here on FTD Facts. So much can be said about the beauty of the country as well as the beauty of the people. Yet, even still, there are many stereotypes, misconceptions, and straight up lies that have been put on as labels on the country and its people. Welcome back to FTD Facts. My name is Leroy Kenton, and for this episode, I'm going to be looking at 10 of the biggest lies, stereotypes, and misconceptions about the Philippines. Okay, so let's get into this list. At number 10, Filipino women are submissive and quiet. Like every other country though, women come in a variety of attitudes. Some a little bit more attitude prone than others. But either way, Filipinas are just a conservative type of woman. According to sources, Filipino women, they find it uncomfortable to mingle or even interact with male foreigners and even their own men. They also have a reputation of being quiet and shy, but this is normally because they feel that they don't have the adequate skill of speaking English to the foreigners. So instead of speaking nonsense, they remain silent. The next lie is that the Philippines is one land mass. This is something that I've been guilty of thinking myself. But there's actually over 7,000 islands that make up the Philippines, and around 2,000 of them are inhabited. And this is known as an archipelago, which is a collection of islands, or sometimes a sea containing a small number of scattered islands. Now, the Philippines has a total land area of 300,000 square kilometers, which works out to be 115,831 square miles. This makes it the world's largest island country. The Philippine archipelago is divided into 3 island groups: Luzon, Visayas, as well as Mindanao. The lie number 8 is Filipinos don't speak English. So when tourists visit the country of the Philippines, they're usually surprised at the fact that Filipinos, they actually learn English as their first language. Most Filipinos also learn it alongside Tagalog growing up. Although some Filipinos will have a distinct accent while speaking English, English-speaking tourists will have little or no trouble at all.
That's very true. In Filipino, they speak English, so I don't think Tagalog is the only thing they speak. I don't think so. Yeah.
Communicating with them. And this actually leads us to our next lie. And this lie is that Filipinos only speak Tagalog. This lie and misconception is similar to the idea that Chinese people speak Chinese, when in fact they speak a wide variety of languages like Mandarin, Cantonese, etc. In the Philippines though, Tagalog is one of many dialects spoken in the country. Back in the year 1937, the government, they adopted Tagalog, elevating...
I think I know this place. This place looks like Pasay.
Its status as a national language of the Philippines, also calling it Filipino, and it has since become mixed with other existing Philippine dialects as well as foreign languages like English and Spanish. Now, when it comes to native languages and dialects, there are more than 200 in the entire country. Number 6, all Filipinos share the exact same culture. So being an archipelago, like I mentioned earlier, historically there was no actual Philippines to refer to. The different groups of islands being separated by large bodies of water, they contained their own distinct culture and language and traditions. Because of this, they were very distinct from each other. So then the movement for a united Philippines didn't come until the arrival of the Spanish, which was much later on though. Alright guys, we reach halfway in this episode. We have 5 more lies to look at. And for more information about Philippines, I definitely want you to check out our video where we did 10 surprising facts about the Philippines. It is a mind-blowing episode. It's such a beautiful country, so much to learn about it. I'll link to it below in the video description section so you can check it out after this. All right, continuing with the lies. In at lie number 5, we have Filipinos are nannies and call center agents. That's all they're good for. Okay, so Filipinos may just be very good at delivering these types of services, and because of that, there's a high demand for their skills in other countries. However, not everyone shares the same dream job interest. There's actually millions and millions of Filipinos living and working overseas with completely different professions, like doctors and nurses and singers. Yeah, Filipinos sing really good. That's another stereotype, but I think there's like some facts to that. You'll find Filipino entrepreneurs, IT specialists, engineers, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So no, they're not just nannies, and they don't just work in call centers overseas. So line number 4 is Manila is the main business district, and this is something that I thought as well, I'm not gonna lie. Contrary to what many foreigners think, most of the embassies and big firms, banks, and insurance companies, they're actually located in Makati and Taguig City. Makati and Taguig are located within the Greater Manila area. Now, Manila is the capital city of the Philippines, and it is one of the most populated cities, but it is not necessarily where all the main action happens. Number 3, have you heard this one before? Dog meat is regularly eaten and served. Okay, all right, so no, they don't sell dog meat in Filipino supermarkets and grocery stores. Eating dogs in Philippines it's a very taboo topic, and there actually are a few small groups, mostly of them are in the northern region of the country in the mountain province, where indigenous people as well as their ancestors have had a history of eating dog meat, but you're not gonna be finding it at restaurants or in grocery stores just like that. No, it doesn't exist. Number 2, Filipinos date foreigners for money and papers. All right, guys, so these ideas are largely perpetuated because of shows like 90 Day Fiancé, let's be honest, okay? But not all Filipinos dream of becoming an American or British citizen or whatever. Some just love to travel and meet new people along the way. Just because Filipinos date and marry foreigners also doesn't mean that they're just looking for visa applications, making that whole process easier and everything. Filipinos, they can afford to fund their own travels themselves, get their visas, and do their jobs in foreign countries, so they don't necessarily need a foreign partner to do so. Marrying a Filipino actually does not mean that the foreigner has to support the Filipino's family either. You know, there's a lot of times where people move overseas and it's like, okay, well, you got to send money back to my family. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's unfair to label Filipinos with that stereotype. And yes, so it is a sad reality that because they date foreigners, it's assumed that they're just gold diggers. But if you actually think about it, just because someone dates somebody from a foreign country doesn't mean that that person is rich either. So yeah, something to think about there. And now moving on to our biggest lie in this episode, Philippines. It's a very dangerous country. Now, we've all seen the news reports. Many foreigners, they hear about Philippines' war on drugs, among other struggles that they have in the country. And this has led foreigners to think that the Philippines is a place of criminals and kidnappers everywhere. Now, there are, of course, several unfortunate issues in the country, but overall, away from the hotspots of criminal activity, there are many beautiful places and safe places that you'll see in the Philippines. Not just the resorts designed for tourists, but many local places as well, completely safe. All right, guys, so this concludes this episode. This was a look at 10 of the biggest lies about the Philippines. Hope this helped clear up some misconceptions. The country of the Philippines and Filipinos, they are an amazing group of people. Here at FTD Facts, we do our best to show love and appreciation to all peoples in our world. And really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you did. Don't forget to check out the recommended video. I'll link to it again in the video description section. And until next time, guys, stay awesome, stay educated. I'll see you in the next episode.
I think these definitely are biggest lies of the Philippines because, yeah, most times they don't date foreigners because of paper or money. They date all foreigners. They genuinely love you, you know, sometimes they really love you. They really want to be with you. Yeah, it can happen that way also. And yeah, and that is it. That should just be the conclusion. Biggest lies. The guy has just explained it. I don't even know if I need to add any other thing. Like, is there any other lie that people lie? Because sometimes people will say, oh, Philippines is like poorest country it's Philippines is not like the poorest country. It's almost like a normal country. There are poor sides and there is also a very wealthy side, which you also find in different countries. Okay, all right. It's Philippines is not the poorest. It's not as if everywhere you go there is not. No, there are also the place that you go and you would live like king or queen, live a very expensive, elegant life. Yeah, so that's all I think this video it's saying. That just it definitely some of this misconception or these big lies are false. When it comes to the Philippines, these lies are not true, and there's so many beautiful places here too. It has beautiful places also that you can come and enjoy yourself. Yes, and that is it. And there are different jobs. Like now, if I'm sick, there are doctors here, there are nurses here, there are different occupations, and yeah. And sometimes when they travel out, they also do the same. Just as that is the end of this video. It's kind of raining, so the weather it's not stable now. So guys, if you like this video, please do to like, give me a like, follow and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.